by 24 at halftime up at Ann Arbor. Rashad basically working the point. Cote has played well of late. 8 to go on the shot clock. Here's Doyle. Gets Sterling Williams an open look for 3. Dee Brown is there. And here come the Illini on the run. Brown forcing the action. A shot knocked the ball away on that pass out to the corner in McBride.
And on that last defensive sequence for Illinois, when you saw the athleticism of that Illinois front line, those big guys can not only come out and hedge, but they will stay with the ball handler because they have the lateral quickness to move their feet and lead the double teams.
Well, Bill Carmody admitted, and McBride shakes loose once again, and he connects to the outside. McBride, coming off a 1-for-8 performance at Ohio State, hits his first field goal of the game. Bill Carmody admitted that Illinois might be the toughest matchup from an athletic standpoint for Northwestern in the conference.
Well, remember the last time that these two teams met, Vukusic was held to 1 of 14 shooting, and that was as a result of the defense of Augustine and Randall because they would run double teams at him. They could rotate fresh bodies, and with that link, they were able to stay with him not only when he would post up, but also on the perimeter.
Craig Moore, the freshman, connecting from the outside. He has had an outstanding freshman season so far.
And if he gets his feet set, he can get it going. Knocked down 5 threes at Minnesota, 4 at Wisconsin.
Augustine across the lane. McBride from the corner. Bring it up for 3. 6 quick points for Rich McBride. Illinois leads by 5.
And even though McBride has shown the ability to put the ball on the floor, if you're Northwestern, you want to make him do that rather than stand still and knock down jump shots. He hits about 38% of his threes.
Williams looking to cut across the lane. He's more of a slasher type. Rashad throws it away. Rashad's been averaging almost 5 turnovers a game in his last 3 games. Lead for Augustine, the flush. Dee Brown with a beautiful look down court. Timeout, Northwestern. Just a 30-second timeout, and much needed by the Wildcats. Illinois quick to transition as you get a look at the field goal there, and here comes the steal.
Nice kick ahead to Dee Brown. Excellent job of keeping his head up and looking down the floor.
So not even 4 minutes gone by in this first half, and Illinois has a 10-3 lead. Illinois jumped out to a big lead in the first meeting between these two teams up in Evanston. But a strong second half by Northwestern. They battled their way back, even though, as you pointed out, their leading scorer, Vedran Vukusic, had perhaps his worst game of the season. 1 of 14 from the field, 5.6 rebounds, 3 turnovers.
And that final score of that ballgame a little bit deceiving because Illinois was in control throughout. I believe they had a 27-point lead in the second half, and then kind of put things into neutral and allowed Northwestern to claw back. But a fantastic defensive job on Vukusic. He really got frustrated during the course of that ballgame.
Northwestern went better than 7 minutes from their first field goal to their second in that game. Moore off the mark on that look. He has the only field goal for Northwestern so far tonight. Randall. Pruitt, good catch.
Well, there was no question that once he caught the ball in that lane, Sean Pruitt got Tim Doyle on his hip, and that was a complete mismatch. Good look inside by Randall.
Sharp start from the field for Illinois. Jenkins, the senior, in the ball game now for Northwestern for the first time. Williams slashing across the lane, and out of the corner, Moore shot is off the mark, well off the mark. Beg your pardon, Doyle missed the shot that time. Here comes McBride to the fall-away. 8 points for Rich McBride. McBride 3 for 3 from the field.
And right now, if you're Northwestern, Wayne, even though you're down 11 here in the early going, you want to milk the clock. You do not want to take quick shots and allow Illinois to use their athleticism and make this a 94-foot ball game.
Opening 5 minutes of play. It has been all Illinois, starting with Randall's jam of the left hand. It finished with a Dee Brown lead to James Augustine. Northwestern trailing by 11.
I'm in.
Some of the bigger stars, like Dwayne Wade, they've actually negotiated final cut of their highlights.
I think that works, Dwayne. You know what? First we should go with a medium to draw the audience in. Then we should go real wide to give it a sense of context.
Dwayne, we're going to need that highlight.
When it's ready, then we'll go.
Well, but you missed 2 shows already.
When it's ready. You think we can add a couple more defenders with CGI? That would make me look more like a hero, you know, superhero.
And draw consumers and fans back into the city. And here's what they're doing also. They're offering 25,000 seats for less than $35 a ticket, and that includes some $14 tickets. And they're asking for long-term commitments from their suite holders and sponsors, like a 5-year commitment to make sure that they've got a long...
Illinois leading at 14-3. Rich McBride off to a hot start here tonight.
And Rich McBride shows you right here why he's shooting 39% from behind the arc. He's second in the conference in threes made per ball game. Then he shows his versatility here. They have to respect him on the perimeter. Shows his ability to put the ball on the floor. That's a play last year at this time, Wayne, he couldn't have made.
There's a look at it. Rich McBride already just about at his season point average per game. Pressure in the backcourt. Steal by Jamar Smith, who just came in, and then he gives it right back to a 5th-year senior in Michael Jenkins. These two teams are both very good, among the conference leaders in fewest turnovers per game. Northwestern second, giving it up just 12.4 times a game. Illinois is third in turnovers per game. Illinois has stoked that up defensively here. Steal by McBride. McBride able to clear off the glass, and we've got a foul coming up.
And once again, we've talked about the offensive efficiency of Illinois, but I think the story for them this year, Wayne, has been their defense. They have done a fantastic job of buying into the defensive sequence that Bruce Weber has been preaching to them. When you lose the offensive firepower that they did a year ago, it would be normal to expect a drop-off, but their defense has really carried them.
McBride makes good on his first. He'll have another. Take a look at the numbers. Now, again, points per game, that's not one the coaches really look at. That could be tempo. But when you're doing this at the arc and this inside the arc or overall on the floor, the field goal shooting percentages defensively are what coaches pay attention to, along with forced turnovers.
And when that three-point percentage is made even more impressive, and that really signals to you what Ohio State did to them on Sunday. That is completely out of character. Ohio State was just lights out from behind the arc.
13 for 23, 56% shooting from the arc for Ohio State against this Illinois defense, and that was shocking. Tells you something about what Ohio State has on the rim, doesn't it? Out there in the arc.
Well, there's an example of the big fellas out there, 6'9" and 6'10", able to double team and move their feet 40 feet away from the rim.
A shot open for 3. Patient Northwestern gets a triple from Mohammed Hashad. They've got 2 field goals, both from downtown. Almost 6 minutes gone by in this first half. Brown got a screen from Augustine, lost the handle on it. And Scott to the floor, Hashad able to collect. And here comes Jenkins. It's kind of a disjointed start to that break off the steal.
That was more like a fracture. That wasn't a break.
Scott on the block, backing in. Seacat also in the ball game for the first time tonight. Here's Craig Moore. Boy, Illinois really extending the defense, but there's the back cut by Scott and a travel.
Nice job of reading that double team, and Vince Scott just not playing with a great deal of confidence on the offensive end of the floor. Good recognition by Northwestern, but as Scott slipped that screen, just not able to convert.
5 turnovers already for Northwestern, 4 for Illinois. And again, these two teams average, well, 12.4 for Northwestern, 12.6 turnovers per game for Illinois. Northwestern with some pressure in the backcourt. They trap at center court, and Moore called for the foul as they try to trap Chester Frazier on the play. Greg Moore, his first personal foul.
And Wayne, Chester Frazier, even though he didn't do a great deal of scoring against Ohio State, I was very impressed with what he gave to this Illinois team defensively. He came in and essentially shut down Jaquel Foster. Jaquel Foster wanted nothing to do with him on the offensive end of the floor. Frazier got right in his grill.
You know, we talked with Bruce Weber, the head coach at Illinois. He was talking about Frazier bringing energy off the bench. And, you know, it's not so much something you're going to see in the box score the next morning. His impact on the game is more intangible than that. And he just brings a level of energy, allows D. Brown to go to the 2-guard spot where he is right now. He left that one short. Augustine had it stripped down low, but a foul coming up before the shot attempt, according to Ed Hightower. Chester Frazier, the freshman out of Baltimore, Notre Dame prep in Massachusetts. Mohamed Ashad picks up the foul. It is his first, 3rd on the team.
And not only does he bring some quickness, but a great deal of toughness. He hurt his hand earlier this year, Wayne, and they went in to make sure it wasn't broken. At the injury that he sustained this year, they did not find a break, but with the X-ray, they found 2 breaks that he'd had in his high school career didn't even know about. Now, that's tough.
That is toughness, yes. Augustine, good catch on the block. Nice look to Randall, and he fouled on the play by Jenkins. Jenkins picks up his first and already the 4th team foul on Northwestern. Good ball movement that time by Illinois.
Excellent play by Randall to see that the double team on Augustine was forthcoming. Augustine turned, faced into the defense, saw the diving cutter in Randall, and delivered it to him.
So Brian Randall, who's come on as a sophomore, redshirt sophomore out of Peoria, Illinois, makes good on his first. Randall is perhaps the rangiest of the frontline defenders for Bruce Weber and the Illini. You can get him out of the floor. He can take a number of different players. He can guard a 3, can guard a 4. He can really guard a post player if you needed to. You know, if he adds a mid-range jump shot to his ball game, he is going to be a substantial factor in the Big Ten over the course of the next 2.5 years. Pressure in the backcourt by Illinois. Bruce Weber talked about ball pressure to his squad in the shoot-around this afternoon. He wants ball pressure when Moore or Jenkins or one of the guards, Ashad, has the ball. They want somebody up at his grill, and that's what they've had so far tonight. It's made the offense very difficult for Northwestern to get into. They haven't been able to get inside the arc in this possession. Everything has been outside, and Illinois taking away any passing angle, and once again their athleticism on display, not only with their small but with their bigs and their ability to move laterally. And that takes away that back door. It doesn't swing open as much if you can move laterally defensively and with the length that the athletes have. Jenkins got a cut inside. Chester Frazier to the recovery block. Shavar Smith brings it across to Frazier. A couple of good-looking freshman guards. Augustine skips it over to Frazier, open for 3. Seacamp the rebound. If you're Northwestern, you'll let Frazier take that jump shot. Only 14% from behind the arc on the year thus far. Vince Scott looking to advance the ball. Everything on the perimeter so far for Northwestern. Ashad trying to slash, picked up by Randall. Tough matchup for Ashad. Inside, Vince Scott backs in on Augustine. Ashad open for 3. Northwestern will have to live at the arc, it appears, here tonight. But even though Vince Scott did not make a move toward the rim, he held the ball long enough to force the defense to collapse, which allowed the kick out to Ashad for the open 3. Northwestern 3 of 6 from downtown. All 3 of their field goal makes are from distance. The left-hander with the jumper, Brian Randall, with 6 points now for Illinois. Illinois by 10. Nice job by McBride cutting out there and taking away the passing angles. Moore tried to come off that little rub. 12:10 to go in the shot clock once again. Vince Scott. Oh, got a great pass to Seacat on the back door.
Nice job by Vince Scott of remaining patient, dribbled away, turned away from pressure. Seacat sensed the defender turn his head, made him pay by diving to the rim.
Ball tipped away by Seacat, picked off by Scott. Turnover Illinois. Northwestern sets it up. Jenkins played close by Frazier. Moore looking inside for Vince Scott. Quick turn to the left-handed hook, and a wild shot that almost went.
I felt the ghost of George Mikan as that thing left his hands.
Frazier clears. Jamar Smith for three. Augustine banging away at it. Seacat, or I should say, Hashad comes up with it for Northwestern.
Pretty good job by Moore of putting a body on Augustine and allowed Hashad to corral the rebound.
Here's Moore. Backing in, Hashad in traffic, clears for a fadeaway off the heel of the rim. And we got a timeout called by Illinois. 9:23 left to go. 32nd timeout taken by the Illini. Northwestern offense doing what it does best, get to the back door. Watch this.
And this is one instance where the great defense of Illinois worked against it. What I mean by that is they've been overplaying so many things that finally, with that little bit of a dribble and reverse back, Seacat sensed that and made the freshman, Jamar Smith, who probably hasn't faced this type of offense very frequently, he turns his head, Seacat senses that, dives to the rim, Scott with the delivery.
3 of the 4 Northwestern makes are from distance, from downtown. Illinois 7 of 11, a very sharp start offensively for them, with the exception of turnovers. Both teams a little high in that category. 5 for Northwestern and 4 for Illinois. Warren Carter is in now for Illinois. Pruitt back on, along with T. Brown. So multiple changes for the Fighting Illini, and Rich McBride back in as well. Northwestern in a zone at the moment. Match up out of the zone. The shot, and Seacat tried to trap Brown. McBride from deep. He is on tonight. 12 for Rich McBride in the early going. Shaking off that Ohio State game, which for him was a nightmare.
And he used the head of the freshman Sterling Williams as a gun sight on that play, because Williams got out there just a step late, and McBride shot that with a great deal of confidence.
Doyle and Williams, as you mentioned, back on, along with Cote for Northwestern. Cote deep three. And the rebound to Warren Carter.
Just because you're from Canada doesn't mean you have to shoot it from Canada.
Off the ball, got a foul coming up on Illinois. Sean Pruitt picks up the foul, his first on the team. Randall with the left hand jumper. He started the scoring, he added to it, and so did McBride from downtown.
You know your friend Cheese? Yeah. That's a nickname, right? Yeah. He smell or something? No. Does he eat a lot of cheese? No, actually, he's lactose intolerant. Well, what's his first name? Mike. What's his last name? Jankowskevich. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, one time we were out in the boat, and he pulled out a big old chunk of Limburger, put it on a hook. Apparently, catfish like stinky cheese. Catfish are so dumb.
天气预报：今天和星期三将会持续低湿度和晴朗的天气。
Houston means that I'm one day closer to you. I love Houston. Houston means that makes Houston.
In sports, if you want to know where you're going, you've got to know where you've been.
Jordan, look at that! On Classic Now, we tie the past to the present.
From Unitas to Marino to Manning, Wilt to Kareem to Shaq, Koufax to Clemens to, well, Clemens. Every weeknight, host Josh Elliott brings you the sports news like you've never seen it before. Classic Now, where the past is always present. Weeknights at 7 and 11, only on ESPN Classic.
If you don't have ESPN Classic, get Classic Now.
Deep into the Orange Crush. Assembly Hall in Champaign. Illinois glad to be back home after a rough outing at Ohio State on Sunday. Meanwhile, Michigan putting a whooping on Minnesota in the second half of that game. Ohio State in the early going leading at Wisconsin. And Penn State has a home standing advantage at Indiana at the moment. Northwestern's offense has been perimeter oriented much of the night. Illinois has extended that defense. A lot of pressure on the ball. Bernard Cote picked up by Warren Carter. Well, as you mentioned, the athletes for Illinois on the perimeter, on the wings, I should say, very long and athletic.
Everything so far from Northwestern has been contested. Nice job by Sterling Williams of splitting the double team and then going high off the window.
That's what he does. You know, he is a slasher, even in the half court. And I know that Bill Carmody was saying to me earlier today, steal by Northwestern, saying that, you know, there certainly is accommodation in the offense for that kind of movement that you saw from Williams a moment ago. Time out of the floor, 7:40 to go, first half at Champaign.
Scott?
Mm-hmm.
Did you possibly switch chairs with me?
No, not me.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Good luck finding your chair, LeBron.
Okay. Okay.
From Walt Disney Pictures.
You in or out, buddy?
Translation?
That'd be out.
In Antarctica.
That's my best girl doing.
The most breathtaking place on Earth. These 8 dogs are everyone's heroes.
They saved my life.
But when nature strands them in the frozen wilderness, one man will do anything to find them.
Those dogs are my family.
And they'll have to do the impossible to make their way home.
Let's go.
Walt Disney Pictures presents Ain't Below, inspired by a true story. Rated PG. Starts Friday.
Amy Lawrence, Jeff Rickards here on Game Night on ESPN Radio. John Clayton, ESPN.com, joining us now. And John, we'll start with Kurt Warner. He gets these 3 years from the Arizona Cardinals. And we heard Denny Green say he thinks it's a great move. But does Kurt Warner have 3 good years left in him?
I think he does. I mean, let's put it this way. Lee at least has 2. I think you saw last year when he was out there and healthy. And again, remember, he was doing it without the running game, with an offensive line that had...
Assembly Hall in Champaign, 13th ranked Illinois on top of Northwestern 22-13 in the first half. In the Big Ten Conference, take a look at the standings. Iowa leading the way at 9-3 now, full game clear of Ohio State. Illinois sitting there at 6-4, just 1 back in the loss column, could ill afford another home loss.
And the scores that we've seen earlier tonight, very important for Michigan to end that 3-game skid before they head into East Lansing, where you know the Spartans are going to be laying in wait.
Williams, a force there, unable to get the rim, knocked out of bounds, last touch by Cote, so it'll belong to Illinois. McBride off to a red-hot start for Illinois. 4 for 4 from the field, 3 of 3 from downtown. Another turnover, Illinois, very nearly a turnover. Indeed it is. For Illinois, that is their 7th turnover of this first half of play. For the Wildcats, Mohamed Ashad is registered from downtown twice here tonight. The shot is the X factor you spoke of, and of course, we should remind you, those of you who are joining us a little bit late, that the leading scorer in the Big Ten, Vedran Vukusic of Northwestern, not playing tonight due to back spasms. Bill Carmody mentioned that he needs this game played on the half court. Can't afford to allow to get into a running game with this Illini team, at least not here. And in fact, that's the MO every night for Northwestern. Seacan off the mark there. Hashad trying to pry loose the rebound, and I believe he'll be called for the foul. It is on Mohamed Hashad over the back, his second personal. There's Vedran Vukusic, a little over 20 points a game, and that represents about 34% of the Northwestern offense on any given night.
And Wayne, I think that even taking the points out of it, I think you would be hard-pressed to find another player in the league that means as much to his team as Vukusic means to this Northwestern squad.
Great ball movement by Illinois. Augustine. Sterling Williams tracks down the rebound. Williams, the coaches were saying, kind of has hit a wall a little bit recently. His minutes have been down the last 2 games, and he looks pretty spry here and pretty active tonight. Cote from deep.
A little bit quick in the shot clock if you're Northwestern there, Wayne. You can get that shot anytime.
McBride quick, but short. His first miss of the night. I guess when you're having that kind of a night, pull the trigger. There's never a bad time to pull the trigger. He was 4 for 4 prior to then. The rebounding edge belonging to Illinois. We mentioned the dominance of their frontline personnel in this matchup. Very difficult matchup for Northwestern.
Wow, look at Augustine. What a great play by Augustine. So many times, Wayne, the big guy will come out, hedge and show. Here he has the athleticism. Watch number 40, comes all the way out and stays with it. The ball handler is used to seeing the big guy show and then leave. It's very rare when you have a 6'10 guy that can stand up, and then the quickest guy in the conference running at you, D. Brown. That's not a position you want to be in as a freshman in Sterling Williams.
So Augustine forces that held ball. Alternating possession belongs to Northwestern. 10 to go in the shot clock, under 10 now. Greg Moore back into the lineup. He clears Brown for a jumper for 2, make it 3.
Nice little step-through move by the freshman, Craig Moore. I think they're going to take a look and see if it's a 2 or a 3.
Dan Grissman is going to change the call, I believe. It looked to me like a 2-point field goal, and now they're stopping the action, and Ed Hightower will take a look at it for himself.
And for folks that may not watch a ton of college basketball, this is absolutely the correct play by the official to go back and look. That's definitely a 2.
2-point shot.
They will see that, and they've changed the call. 2-point shot, Craig Moore. 5.5 to go in this first half. 7-point lead, Illinois. So Northwestern has kind of hung around here through some anxious first half moments for the Wildcats. Brown, double team, steal by Mohamed Hashad, and what do we get? A kick. Glenn Mayborg with the call. So it'll belong to Illinois. So Mohamed Hashad stepping up here. Illinois now with 20 to go on the shot clock. Smith elevates for 3. Good-looking shot at the front of the iron. Doyle there for the rebound. And Northwestern an opportunity here to close to within 5 or closer. Craig Moore. And it knocked away, and off Scott it goes and out of bounds. Turnover Northwestern. 6 turnovers for the Wildcats here. There's that pressure, and again it's Augustine out in front who got a hand on it and knocked it off the shin of Vince Scott.
Heads up play by Augustine.
Northwestern showed trap on Brown. He got rid of it to McBride. Brown is open on the wing. Jumped at by Williams. Pruitt backing in traffic, and he traveled. Second traveling call on a frustrated Sean Williams. There's a look at D. Brown, who moves into first place just a moment ago ahead of Bruce Douglas. Most minutes played in Illini basketball history.
Once again, Brian Randall able to close out He's 45 feet away from the rim.
He almost had the steal.
And there's a turnover again.
And that was caused by Randall.
Oh, wow, they missed that one.
I didn't think Randall touched it.
He didn't touch it.
It went off Doyle. Break for Northwestern. Can they capitalize? Yes, they can. Muhammad a shot for 3.
Yeah, Northwestern got a gift right there.
Doyle hustling back, denying the lead pass to Augustine and knocked it out of bounds. So the lead is 4 for Illinois.
If Northwestern can hold the fort here with another Illinois turnover.
Here comes the shot on the drive against Augustine. Doyle the follow. Sean Pruitt the rebound, Illinois.
Boy, that's one of the few easy opportunities Northwestern has had, and you have to capitalize on those, especially on the road.
Northwestern slips back into a 2-3 zone. Skip pass to Brown, slashing into the lane. The pull-up is good. His first field goal of the game. Illinois is led by as many as 12. Northwestern back to within 4 a few moments ago. 6-point margin now off the make by Brown. Oh, nice back cut. Great feed from Moore to Hashad.
And once again, Northwestern uses that defensive intensity of Illinois against it, sensing the overplay, going back door.
Brown. Illinois, 5.5 minutes, just 1 from the field, and rims out on the corner shot that time by Randall. Vince got the rebound. The other aspect that Bill Carmody talked about this afternoon, he said, you know, on the defensive glass, it's got to be one and done for Illinois. The rebound has to be ours almost every time.
And by and large in this first half, that has been the case.
Scott. Here's Moore. And got a foul on Vince Scott.
Follows on Northwestern, number 52.
And 2:33 left to go in this first half. Turnover-like foul on Scott. 6th team foul, first on Scott. Bill Carmody and company working on the road and trailing the 13th ranked Illini by just 4.
ABC News Now. Finally something designed for your hectic life. Imagine programs 15 minutes long and tightly packed with all the good stuff you actually want. Hit the ground running with ABC News Now.
ABC News Now.
Now.
Now. ABC News Now.
Get it now.
Now.
ABC News.
Anytime, anywhere. Get it now.
Now imagine being able to get it all. Anytime and anywhere. Hey, that's why you need ABC News Now.
Thanks for filling in, Mr. Urlacher.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Happy to help.
Join us in March for ESPN The Weekend at the Walt Disney World Resort. There's something for every fan. Visit ESPNTheWeekend.com today. Presented by Speedstick 24/7.
You all right? Yeah, just an old football injury. Tore my rotator cuff against the Giants in '88. Yeah, got to play hurt though, right? Oh, absolutely. Actually, I burnt my tongue on some lentil soup last night. It really hurts. Be okay to do the show? Oh, yeah. I'll suck it up.
What makes them different makes them great. Mike and Mike in the Morning on ESPN Radio.
Ready to elevate your golf game to the next level? Learn from the professionals at ESPN Golf Schools presented by Lexus. Enroll in the 3-club tour and receive a Nike Sasquatch driver, SV wedge, and T100 putter free. ESPN Golf Schools instruction developed by world-renowned teaching pro Hank Haney. Call 1-800-642-5528 or register online at ESPNGolfSchools.com. Improve your game through personalized instruction and the latest in equipment from Nike Golf. ESPN Golf Schools presented by Lexus.
Little concern in the Orange Crush section. take a look. Dissect the backdoor cut.
Now watch this. You have to dribble to the strong side. The defender, Brian Randall's overplaying. But as you take a look at another view right here, number 32, Sterling Williams, has to go around the baseline, which clears that defender out. If he doesn't make that move, there's a defender in there clogging it up, which takes away the backdoor to a shot.
So Northwestern down by as many as 12 in this first half of play, trailing by just 4. Illinois has hit a bit of a dead patch here and allowed a big lead to pretty much slip away.
If I'm Illinois right now, Wayne, I'm not putting up anything from the perimeter until my big guys get a touch inside.
Got to skip passing around the perimeter of this zone defense. Augustine looking inside on the drive. Warren Carter. That's just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, Michael Jenkins guarding Warren Carter was the biggest mismatch since Rosie O'Donnell went up against a bag of double stuffed.
You say the double stuff one?
Yes.
Scott. More often than not, Northwestern has gone under 10 seconds to go on the shot clock in this first half tonight. Sterling Williams, the freshman, looked up at the clock. Williams on the drive. Bank it good, but it won't count. Shot clock violation. Didn't get it off in time.
Good job by Illinois once again of keeping Northwestern exclusively outside the three-point arc. Didn't allow any ball reversal, and it broke down to the freshman Sterling Williams trying to beat Illinois off the dribble, just not able to turn the corner quick enough.
McBride. Here's D. Brown. And again, the skip pass over the zone. Randall.
Nice.
Carter down low. No, the foul on Doyle before the shot attempt. So Doyle picks up his first 17 fouls.
Fouls on double 0, 10 Doyle.
Good job by Illinois right there, once again, of going inside. And once Northwestern tries to collapse, bringing that defender from the weak side, particularly from the elbow, good recognition, in this case by Warren Carter, sensing that and dive cutting right to the rim.
So Carter, a 1-on-1 opportunity. The junior out of Dallas, just starting in recent weeks to come to the fore for Illinois as a viable option off the bench. Makes good on his first. Another one of these long athletes, 6'9", with the wingspan of a 747.
And he hit a big shot for Illinois earlier this year in that tournament down San Padre Island where he hit the shot to beat Wichita State.
Illinois gets it back on the athletic rebound by Randall. D. Brown. A minute to go, straight up in the first half. Illinois leads by 7. Northwestern appears to be matched up man-to-man. Brown from the outside, rims out. Rebound battle, and Augustine another offensive rebound. Second offensive rebound for Illinois on this possession. Open is Carter. Short, and Doyle quick to the ball.
And Northwestern can't hold for the last shot here, Wayne.
And it appears that's exactly what they'll do. Northwestern playing tonight without its leading scorer, without the leading scorer in the Big Ten Conference, Vedran Vukasic, who's been down the last 2 days due to back spasms. Northwestern on the road, hanging in against 13th ranked Illinois. Time to go to work. Doyle whirling in on Augustine. Rejected by Augustine. The follow is short by Jenkins.
I thought that looked good from where we were sitting, but excellent defensive rotation by Augustine. Northwestern has to feel pretty good about where they are right now. They're able to keep the score where they want it. They only average 60 points per ball game. They've got the score where they need it in terms of after the first 20 minutes.
Illinois blew out to a 12-point lead. Northwestern closed within 4, and at halftime, the Illini enjoy a 7-point advantage. Halftime activities coming up.
Excuse me. This is from the gentleman in first class.
Oh, thanks. Hey, Jer. How's the coffee? Are you sure it's coffee? No, you're not sure now, are you? Welcome to my world.
the Citgo Bassmaster Classic. Live coverage begins Friday, February 24th on ESPN2.
Sweet, sleepy, warm of summer nights, gazing at the distant lights and dream of you.
Introducing mobile ESPN. Sports fans, your phone has arrived.
League, but if you're trying to contend for a title, he's probably not the kind of guy that you need. And you know, Darko, in the little bits of time he's played, he's shown signs of being a decent NBA player. But you're talking about playing behind Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Antonio McDyess, guys who have got a combined 8 All-Star appearances. I mean, that's a pretty high standard to play at, and Darko just never measured up to what those guys can do.
So is there a chance that maybe he hasn't gotten?
Welcome back to Champaign, the ESPN Plus halftime report. It is the Fighting Illini of Illinois, 13th ranked team of the nation, leading Northwestern 27-20. Elsewhere in college basketball, take a look at it. Michigan big on Minnesota tonight. Minnesota coming off a very impressive win at home over Michigan State on Saturday. And Michigan trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. Sense of urgency there.
It certainly is, and Minnesota had a 2-game winning streak of their own. Michigan needed that win desperately if it looks like they're going to hold on there. Ohio State, Wayne, over the last 2 ball games versus Michigan on the road and then versus these Fighting Illini of Illinois, I don't know if I've seen a team shoot the ball as well from 3 over a 2-game span as Ohio State has.
They have Terrence Styles down low and 4 perimeter people, and boy, have they shot lights out of late. You're right. Meanwhile, Indiana over Penn State. Indiana trailed early in that ball game.
And Penn State, a much improved team. Very tough. Ed DiCello's putting together a nice program there with a couple of young players.
Elsewhere, Florida on top of Vanderbilt by the slimmest of margins. George Washington in the top 10 at number 8, leading Massachusetts. Pittsburgh has the advantage on Providence in a hard-fought battle in the second half, and Tennessee leading Auburn, and what a job Bruce Pearl has done at Tennessee. Meanwhile, North Carolina State big over Florida State. North Carolina trailing Georgia Tech in the second half.
And Georgia Tech, a lot of sophomores there. That would be a big win for that program if they're able to go in and steal one in Chapel Hill, and then Bucknell, the Bison, get a big win.
Yeah, well, you know, first time in the ratings, and it didn't go to their head, right? They took care of business against Lafayette. And LSU leading Mississippi State in the first half. Illinois here in Champaign leading at halftime over Northwestern. 27-20. Our halftime activities continue after these messages.
Sleepy, warm of summer nights, gazing at the distant lights and dream of you.
Introducing mobile ESPN. Sports fans, your phone has arrived.
Summer nights, gazing at the distant lights and dream of you.
Introducing mobile ESPN. Sports fans, your phone has arrived.
Some people look like they're dogs, but Tim Allen, he's about to become one.
Last night I turned into a dog.
Dad?
Then I turned back into being human.
Now he's got to go from family dog.
All my dad cares about is having a son who's a football player.
I've got to make this better.
To family hero.
Awesome.
Or he'll be living a dog's life forever.
Is there anyone who has not sniffed my...
Tim Allen. The Shaggy Dog, rated PG.
Item, gold locket with broken chain.
ABC presents.
Item, cellular phone, displaying last number dialed.
A new television experience that starts by giving you all of the evidence. Even before these guys ever get the case.
You're not our problem unless you make us your problem.
Orlando Jones, Rob Estes, The Evidence. Series premiere Wednesday, March 22nd at 10/9 Central. Only on ABC.
Sloppy defense. Who's got him? Who's got him? Weak screens. Step up! Bad passes.
Hey! Give me the ball.
Now, Bobby Knight sees who can pass the ultimate test.
Good job.
16 students.
I want all of you to grow 4 inches.
1 walk-on spot.
If your mother comes in here, you going to listen to your mother or to me? That's right.
Get ready for Night School. Premieres Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
ESPN Plus halftime report. The Fighting Illini of Illinois, 13th ranked team in the nation, leading the Northwestern Wildcats at halftime, 27-20. Our halftime continues now with a word from our member institutions, Northwestern and Illinois, and the Big Ten Conference.
Wrestling is a sport of power, speed, and strategy. And for 31 straight matches, one wrestler has outpushed, outmoved, and outthought his opponents. He is Northwestern's Jake Herbert. The sophomore is the second-ranked 174-pound wrestler in the country. And between the end of last season and the beginning of this one, he has racked up 31 straight victories.
I feel really relaxed when I'm out there, and I think something I do really good is I just kind of I just go out there and wrestle. I don't think about anything. I don't, concentrate on one thing. I don't worry. I just go out there and, let my body do what, it's been doing for 18 years.
But according to Herbert's head coach, Tim Szewski, it's more than just Jake's natural talent that has helped him to string together so many wins.
He's just getting stronger every day, every week, more confidence. He knows that his best wrestling is yet to come, but at the same time, he's doing a great job of staying focused on the match in front of him and not worrying about the future.
Getting better every day takes time, and Herbert has put in the hours, often practicing 3 times a day, lifting in the morning, practicing with the team in the afternoon, and weight cutting in the gym at night.
I think it's like a desire, I want it more than him. I've worked harder than him. I find it insulting, that he's out there and he thinks that, he's going to beat me, because I know he didn't work harder than me. I know he's not better than me. I know he doesn't want it more than me.
Having defeated every opponent he's faced so far, Herbert's biggest competition might be a date with Missouri's first-ranked Ben Askren in the NCAA Finals. Askren is riding a win streak of his own, with 32 straight matches won. If both can stay undefeated, that's a matchup we can all look forward to. This is Henry Rossoff for NNN Sports.
Please rise for our couple of Spurs fans as husband and wife.
My name is Izzy Paskowitz, and I've been running surf camps for autistic kids for 7 years. What's perfect for us is see that screaming and the kicking when they go out, and when they turn around and ride that wave in, it's just nothing like it. And there's the parents, tears in their eyes, saying, we've had a lot of tough times, but today was just a perfect day.
Say rain.
Northwestern and Illinois coming up. Highlights of the first half at Augustine.
I'm in.
Some of the bigger stars, like Dwayne Wade, they've actually negotiated final cut of their highlights.
I think that works, Dwayne. You know what? First we should go with a medium to draw the audience in. Then we should go real wide to give it a sense of context.
Dwayne, we're going to need that highlight.
When it's ready, then we'll go.
Well, but you missed 2 shows already.
When it's ready. You think we can add a couple more defenders with CGI? That would make me look more.
Good job of that. They did a good job of making Illinois work, not able to get anything going inside. They did on a couple of occasions use Illinois' defensive intensity against it by getting backdoor cuts. Hashad hit some big threes. The key stat for Northwestern in relationship to Muhammad Hashad, he has 2 fouls right now. They cannot afford to lose him for any extended period of time. Look for Illinois to pound the ball inside at the beginning of the second half.
Take a look at the first half highlights presented by Shelter Insurance. It begins with the ultimate senior connection. D. Brown to James Augustine early in the ball game.
Nice job by Augustine of running the floor. D. Brown kept his head up, and then McBride was really the story in the early going. Had 10 quick points. They're showing his ability to score off the dribble. Then we see right there the ability of Northwestern to use the defensive intensity against it. Another look. Sterling Williams clears out, which allows Hashad the backdoor opportunity.
For your insurance needs, visit shelterinsurance.com to find the shelter agent near you. Seek shelter today. First half statistics. Northwestern under 40% from the field. Illinois off a hot start. Finishes at 50% in the first half. Illinois leading the way on the boards. Second half coming up from Champaign.
You know your friend Cheese? Yeah. That's a nickname, right? Yeah. He smell or something? No. Does he eat a lot of cheese? No, actually, he's lactose intolerant. Well, what's his first name? Mike. What's his last name? Jankowskevich. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, one time we were out in the boat, and he pulled out a big old chunk of Limburger, put it on a hook. Apparently, catfish like stinky cheese. Catfish are so dumb.
天气预报，今天和星期三将会持续低湿度和晴朗的气候。消费者。
Houston means I'm one day closer to you. I love it, Houston. Houston means my nation. Well, honey, Houston.
In sports, if you want to know where you're going, you've got to know where you've been.
Jordan, look at that! On Classic Now, we tie the past to the present.
From Unitas to Marino to Manning, Wilt to Kareem to Shaq, Koufax to Clemens to, well, Clemens. Every weeknight, host Josh Elliott brings you the sports news like you've never seen it before. Classic Now, where the past is always present. Weeknights at 7 and 11, only on ESPN Classic.
If you don't have ESPN Classic, it's Classic Now.
Bill Carmody working it tonight without his leading scorer, without the leading scorer in the Big Ten. Vedran Vukusic out due to a back injury. Illinois inbounds to start the second half of play. We're underway with the Illini leading it by 7 as we begin the second half. D. Brown, Rich McBride, Sean Pruitt, James Augustine, and Brian Randall up front for Illinois. Northwestern starts at his zone. Stewart dribbles out of a double team to Randall. McBride over to Brown. Skip pass to McBride. Here's Randall. Dribbling through that zone. McBride open from way downtown, and that's short. Hashad there for the rebound.
Pretty good defensive sequence by Northwestern to start the second half. Forced the kick out by Randall. McBride not able to connect.
Wildcats generally take their time offensively, but a lot of that in the first half is due to Illinois' pressure defense.
Well, they did on at least 6 or 7 of those possessions, Wayne. They did not allow Northwestern to penetrate the three-point arc.
Doyle with a great move on Augustine, drew contact on the foul. Tim Doyle, who had a strong game against Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne on Saturday, 14 points, yet to score here tonight. Augustine's first personal foul. Tim Doyle has come on and played very well. Top 10 in assists in the Big Ten this season. 4.2 assists per game. Up around 9 points a contest.
In the top 10 in the conference in terms of perfectly coiffed hair.
Yes, even in the middle of battle. You know, Bill Carmody mentioned about him. He said, the thing I like about Doyle is that at least he's out there and he'll take some risks. You know what I mean? He's not trying to play it safe. Now, sometimes that means turnovers, but you know, you need a few risk takers on your team. Hashad shows some presence in the backcourt. Brown advances for Illinois. Northwestern packs in the zone. And again, the Illinois people were talking about, sometimes it's a zone, it's a matchup zone, it's a 1-3-1, it's a 2-3. A lot of different looks, and it causes the offense to pause for a bit. Pruitt in close.
Nice execution by Illinois. Made the Northwestern defense work side to side, and then Pruitt did a good job of riding the defender up the lane on the finish.
In the half court, I think for the most part, Illinois has been very patient offensively. They've done a good job. Doyle backing in Augustine. Scott from the outside. Vince Scott for 3. His first field goal of the game.
And that's an area he's really struggled this year, Wayne. Came in shooting 19% from the arc.
He was a decent shooter from out there a year ago. Apparently, Brown, when he made the catch, had a foot on the sideline. But watch the ball movement by Illinois.
And a nice delivery by Brian Randall to his teammate, Sean Pruitt. Good job of throwing away from the defender and giving it to Pruitt, Wayne, where he could catch it and finish it. Didn't have to readjust off a poor pass.
That was the previous possession for Illinois. The last one ended in a turnover, and here comes Doyle looking to capitalize. Hashad. Sterling Williams backs out of there. Now Doyle. Oh, and the cut by Hashad. Beautifully done. He beat Randall to the lane. 13 for Muhammad Hashad. It's your X factor, Sean, and he's showing up as a big X here.
Moving without the ball, and once again, the defensive intensity of Illinois, their aggression is being used against them in that situation.
D. Brown for 3. Halfway down wouldn't stay. Sterling Williams with the rebound, gets fouled by Augustine.
Wayne, so many times when you're playing an offense such as the one that Northwestern runs, it's kind of similar to playing the option in football. You have to be patient. Everyone talks about patience offensively. You also have to be patient defensively and let the play unfold. In football, you're trying to string the play out. Same thing here. If you jump into that passing lane, Northwestern has enough guys that have been in this system, they can read and react.
This is the closest the score has been since it was 2-0 Illinois. Doyle jumped at by Augustine. Scott back to the basket on Warren Carter, and he gets bumped by Carter in the foul. So Warren Carter picks up his first. That's the third on Illinois here in the early going of this second half.
And Wayne, so far in the limited minutes that Scott has played, this is the best that he's looked for Northwestern since the Seton Hall game back in December. His confidence has really waned, particularly on the offensive end of the floor. He needs to come out and knock down some shots and deliver passes. He's shown the ability to do that as well.
Michigan wins big over Minnesota. So the Gophers, who left Williams Arena Saturday with a ton of confidence after an upset of nationally ranked Michigan State, go on the road, and the Wolverines snap their 3-game losing streak with a resounding win. Trapped there by Northwestern in the half court. McBride, D. Brown. Out of the corner, McBride for three, and Williams there for the rebound. Tied at 29.
And when you can kind of see the body language of both these teams changing, the shoulders kind of slumping a little bit on Illinois right now. Northwestern playing with a little bit of hop to their step, moving very crisply.
Williams had it knocked away by Brown, and a foul called on D. Brown. That's his first. Fourth on the team. And again, Vedran Vukusic on the bench tonight due to back spasm. Didn't practice yesterday, was unable to work out with the team today. Northwestern, meanwhile, on a 9-2 run without their leading scorer to start the second half. And they've caught the Illini at 29. And Doyle needs a quick timeout. So Northwestern will talk it over. Less than 4 minutes gone by, and the Wildcats have caught the Illini.
Scott? Mm-hmm. Did you possibly switch chairs with me?
No, not me.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Good luck finding your chair, LeBron.
Okay. Okay.
From Walt Disney Pictures.
You in or out, buddy?
Translation?
That'd be out.
In Antarctica.
How's my best girl doing?
The most breathtaking place on Earth. These 8 dogs are everyone's heroes.
They saved my life.
But when nature strands them in the frozen wilderness, one man will do anything to find them.
Those dogs are my family.
And they'll have to do the impossible to make their way home.
Let's go.
Walt Disney Pictures presents Ain't It Alone, inspired by a true story. Rated PG. Starts Friday.
Wayne Larrabee, Sean Morris, welcome back to Illinois. Tied at 29, early going second half. The back door's been swinging open for Northwestern.
And Northwestern's done a nice job of executing it. And right here, you can see Sean Pruitt does not put a body on Muhammad Ashad after he does the backdoor cut versus Brian Randall. And as a result, Doyle's able to put it up there and Ashad with the finish. And Wayne, we talked about the importance for Illinois of dominating inside and getting points in the paint. Northwestern has more than held their own with the backdoor cuts and the lobs.
12 points in the paint for Illinois, 8 for Northwestern, and a lot of that's through the back door. Wildcat basketball, they bid for the lead. Northwestern has never led in the ball game. Jenkins back into the lineup now for Northwestern. 4 minutes gone by, second half. Off the ball, what do we have?
They've got
foul on Illinois.
McBride grabbing the cutter, yep.
Yep, it is on McBride. Holding up a cutter off the ball. We'll be back.
ABC News Now. Finally something designed for your hectic life. Imagine programs 15 minutes long and tightly packed with all the good stuff you actually want. Hit the ground running with ABC News Now.
ABC News Now.
Now. ABC News Now.
Get it now.
Now.
ABC News.
Anytime, anywhere.
Get it now.
Now imagine being able to get it all. Anytime and anywhere. Hey, that's why you need ABC News Now.
Thanks for filling in, Mr. Urlacher.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Happy to help.
Join us in March for ESPN The Weekend at the Walt Disney World Resort. There's something for every fan. Visit ESPNTheWeekend.com today. Presented by Speedstick 24/7.
You all right? Yeah, just an old football injury. Tore my rotator cuff against the Giants in '88. Got to play hurt, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. Actually, I burnt my tongue on some lentil soup last night. It really hurts.
Be okay to do the show?
Oh, yeah. I'll suck it up.
What makes them different makes them great. Mike and Mike in the Morning on ESPN Radio.
Ready to elevate your golf game to the next level? Learn from the professionals at ESPN Golf Schools presented by Lexus. Enroll in the 3-club tour and receive a Nike Sasquatch driver, SV wedge, and T100 putter free. ESPN Golf Schools instruction developed by world-renowned teaching pro Hank Haney. Call 1-800-642-5528 or register online at ESPNGolfSchools.com. Improve your game through personalized instruction and the latest in equipment from Nike Golf. ESPN Golf Schools presented by Lexus.
Well, the Orange Crush, there might be some concern there. The Fighting Illini tied up with Northwestern. A little over 4 minutes gone by, second half. Elsewhere in the Big Ten, Ohio State continues to lead at Wisconsin, leading by 7 in that game in the second half. And also, Indiana holding on at Penn State in the second half. Earlier tonight, Michigan was all over Minnesota. Won handily. Nice play there by Brian Randall to deny the pass to the wing. Illinois guilty of 5 fouls in the first 4+ minutes of the second half. They had only 1 foul in the first half.
And I think that's a result of Northwestern being a little bit more aggressive attacking. They went inside to Scott a little bit. They've attacked off the dribble, which has forced Illinois to defend more going toward the basket, other than what we saw in the first 20 minutes where they were able to keep Northwestern almost exclusively between the midcourt stripe and the three-point circle.
10 to go on the shot clock. Moore for 3. And the Illini the rebound. Brian Randall steers it over to D. Brown. Tied at 29. Carter clears it to Brown for 3. Ring it up. And boy, did the Illini need that one.
Nice look weak side on the interior kick. Look weak side with that skip pass. D. Brown got his feet set, knocked it down.
Illinois back on top by 3. Scott. Jenkins thought he had the back door open. Brown denied the pass. Doyle. Here's a shot. Picked up by Randall. Time winding down to the shot clock. Moore able to beat it for the rebound, and a great block out by Warren Carter on Tim Doyle allows Brown to clear for Illinois.
He took Doyle completely out of bounds on that play. Nice play by Carter.
Took him right out of the gym. Brown for 3. Yes, and a foul. Yes, and it counts.
Nice look weak side. Couple possessions ago by Warren Carter to the spotting up D. Brown. And here, D. Brown once again out of the pass from the corner by Augustine, and he's knocked down his last 2 after being 0 for 3 from behind the arc prior to those 2 sequences.
Michael Jenkins picks up the foul. D. Brown heading to the line for a rare 4-point play opportunity. Brown had just 2 points in a quiet first half. And he's got it. 9 for D. Brown. Illinois with 7 straight points. And they stretch that advantage. Scott with Augustine out on him defensively. Here's Moore. The shot has it knocked away. Timeout, Northwestern. Almost 6 minutes gone by, second half. 30-second timeout called for by Bill Carmody. Almost 6 minutes gone by second half. Illinois on top by 7. Let's take a look at the FS seed pick win schedule for the Northwestern Wildcats. They move on to Ohio State from here and then welcome Wisconsin. So they are in a killer portion of their schedule at Illinois, at Ohio State, and Wisconsin at home. Meanwhile, Illinois will head from here. They host Indiana and then up to Michigan, followed by a huge game against Iowa on the 25th.
Well, Iowa came in here and gave Illinois all they wanted, but they need to get that Indiana win. They lost at Indiana earlier this season. Michigan, once again, a team that is very hard to figure out. Sometimes they look like world beaters. They've had some injuries, but obviously they were clicking tonight.
10 to go on the shot clock, Northwestern. Now it's the Wildcats who desperately need a hoop. Ashad on the drive. Well done, Mohamed Ashad with 15 points now. And Northwestern back to within 5.
He's the one guy that we talked about, Wayne, for this Northwestern squad that can get by and utilize his quickness to beat Illinois off the dribble.
Augustine skips it over to Randall. McBride gets inside on Jenkins. 14 for Rich McBride. Again, the lead is 7 for the 13th ranked Fighting Illini of Illinois. Jenkins lost his footing, gets tied up. Oh, and got a timeout called just in time. So timeout taken by Northwestern, and they're down to 1.
Watch this sequence right here. Good inside-out action. Good skip pass by James Augustine. The extra pass by D. Brown. And then Richard McBride, because he can shoot the 3, Wayne, they have to close out on him, do the Northwestern Wildcats. Jenkins doesn't do it under control. He's able to turn the corner. And Richard McBride is a guy who's paying dividends now for the work he made in the offseason. He's probably dropped a good 15 or 20 pounds to make himself more versatile. A year ago at this time, he's not going to have the quickness or the stamina to shot bake and get by anybody off the bounce.
So McBride back on along with the Illini. It is Northwestern basketball. 24 to go on the shot clock. Illinois leading by 7.
And Northwestern, in this early part of the second half, Wayne, already down to 1 timeout. They've had to burn 3 timeouts, 1 on an inbound situation, and 1 right there with Jenkins about ready to get tied up. Look at Augustine,
the freshman.
Feet. That is impressive.
Yeah, Augustine guarding a guard out there. Time winding down, forced by his shot, short. Good defense again by Illinois.
This is going to be an interesting 2 or 3 minute segment for Northwestern because they don't have any bench to speak of, and Illinois has been able to run some fresh bodies at them.
Augustine the offensive rebound, and Brown is fouled by Ashad. 3 on Mohamed Ashad, second on the team.
Number 3 on the shot. 2 on
So non-shooting affair. Illinois by 7. 7.5 minutes gone by essentially in the second half.
And I think with that being 3 on a shot, they're going to have to go to the bench on the Northwestern Wildcats and get him out of there.
Carter in close, missed the first time, gets it back. That's that athletic ability. Got up on the pogo stick and knocked it in. Illinois by 9 once again. They led by as many as 12 in the first half. Sterling Williams to Mohamed Ashad, sets and fires for 3, and it rims out.
Not a bad sequence. That's a good shot for his shot. He hit 3 of 3s in the first half.
The lead to Augustine from D. Brown, and the timing between the 2 seniors, impressive on 2 occasions here tonight at the open floor.
And Wayne, this is where you've got to believe Bill Carmody would like to burn a timeout, but with 12 minutes to go in this ball game, he's already had to utilize 3. He has only 1 left.
Good point. Here's a shot. Picked up by Randall. Moore back to Ashad, backing in Randall. And what do we get? Got a foul coming up on Randall on a push down low. 11:32 to go in the ball game. The seniors hook up again. Dee Brown, James Augustine, the Illini lead.
Well, this thing is just about over now. They'll snap the ball, take a knee, and that'll end it. Bills are going to drop this one, and wait a second. The ball is loose. Fisher's got it, and he's got Walker to the 20. He's to the 10. Touchdown, Bills! Listen to this place! Holy moly! What? No! They're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 30-yard line. The game comes to an end. The Bills lose a heartbreaker.
Guys, if you're not nervous, you're not alive. You get an opportunity like this, you gotta be. And we're gonna leave it all right here.
They're not getting screened. Don't get screened.
Go, Benny, go. What are you doing here? It ought to hurt to get an opportunity like that. And we didn't get it done.
Excuse me. This is from the gentleman in first class.
Oh, thanks. Hey, Jer. How's the coffee? Are you sure it's coffee? No, you're not sure now, are you? Welcome to my world.
The Citgo Bassmaster Classic. Live coverage begins Friday, February 24th on ESPN2.
Sleepy warmth of summer nights, gazing at the distant lights, and dream of you.
Introducing mobile ESPN. Sports fans, your phone has arrived.
Back in Illinois, the Fighting Illini leading 42-31. Time now to look at who's in the radius three-point zone, Sean.
We started off with Rich McBride in the first half for Illinois, but the three-point shooting of Muhammad has shot 3 of them in the first half, allowed Northwestern to stay close, but a 7-point run singularly by Dee Brown, 2 threes and a 4-point play allowed Illinois to stretch the lead.
This three-point zone performer brought to you by Radius Herbicide, a weed-free zone. Northwestern resumes offensively, and they need some points. They came out, scored 9 of the first 11 points of the second half. Brown with the pick of Jenkins. Dee Brown on the run. Northwestern back quickly offensively. Cote back in for the Wildcats now, along with Evan Seacat. Zone defense for Northwestern. Good ball movement by Illinois. And foul coming up on Northwestern. Cote.
Nice little sequence right there by Illinois. Zipping the ball around the perimeter, then going inside. Good post position forces Northwestern to give the foul.
McBride on the inbounds. And he's got to get a timeout.
Timeout, Illinois.
Nobody open, so the Illini take a timeout. They have 3 remaining with 11:05 left to go second half. But as you pointed out, Northwestern burned 3 of its timeouts early in the second half.
Yeah, they were using them like wet naps there for like the first 2 or 3 minutes of this half.
Coming up this weekend from ESPN Plus, and of course, as always, check your local listings. Northwestern and Ohio State noon Eastern time, 11 a.m. here in the Central Time Zone, followed by Penn State, Purdue, and then Iowa and Minnesota. Remember, the last time Iowa and Minnesota hooked up in Iowa City went triple overtime.
And Minnesota, a very dangerous team at home, as Michigan State and Indiana can attest. And they had a 2-game winning streak snapped today, but Iowa was so impressive last night, I thought, in that win at home versus Michigan State. Their defense, we've talked about Illinois' defense. Iowa's defense has been the catalyst for them this year.
And they're big people. Bruner and Hansen crashing the board. Second chance opportunities in the second half for Iowa paved the way to that victory over Michigan State. McBride inside. Oh, beautiful touch pass. Augustine to the slam by Carter.
That's pretty. That is excellent execution in the half court by Illinois. And Augustine showing his versatility as a passer here tonight as well.
Illinois stretching to a 13-point lead, their biggest of the night. And a foul coming up against Illinois.
Watch this touch pass as Doyle comes over. Good peripheral vision. Sees Carter. Carter, the recipient, sends it home.
McBride picked up the foul a moment ago, his second. 7 on the team now, so 1-on-1 opportunity coming up at the line. Evan Seacant at the free throw line. Seacant starting to get more time on the floor in the last couple of games. Has 2 points here tonight. Had 6 points combined in the last 2 games.
Hit a big 3 in that win last week versus Iowa. Actually had a chance at a 4-point play. Wasn't able to convert the foul shot. But over the last couple of years, Evan Seacant, the senior from Paola, Indiana, has battled some injuries. Has battled a hernia this year that just didn't quite heal up.
Second by Seacant. Rims in. 4 for Evan Seacant. Illinois, an 11-point lead. Good spacing by the Illini in this set. Really making that zone work for Northwestern. Forcing them to cover a lot of territory. Carter. D. Brown on the pull-up. 11 for D. Brown, and Illinois increases the advantage again to 13, equaling their biggest lead of the night.
And D. Brown was letting Tim Doyle know about it as he went back in defensive transition.
Doyle back to the basket against Warren Carter. Beautiful up and under move, and 1. Yes, it counts.
Wayne, you can fast forward the clock 15 years when Tim Doyle is playing in a YMCA somewhere, and you'll still see the same move. The up and under. Watch right here. This is just good footwork. Nothing fancy. Goes in, nice step through, jumps over the champagne phone book about 1.5 inches, and the finish.
Champagne's gotten bigger, hasn't it?
Maybe 2 inches. Throw in Urbana.
That's right. It includes Urbana. That's right. 10-point lead now for Illinois. Under 10 minutes to go. D. Brown 3. Nope. Back-tap rebound, and here comes Seacant on the run. Moore passes back to Seacant. Moore out of the corner for 3. Well, the Wildcats aren't going anywhere. Brown right back, the one-man fast break.
Yeah, he covered some territory right there.
Hard to get back against that kind of explosion. And everybody said, well, get back defensively, get back defensively. Hard to do when D. Brown's on the other end of that play. Here comes Doyle. 9 minutes to go in the game. Vince Scott again from downtown, his second field goal of the night.
He's answered the call offensively. They needed someone else to step up and provide some points, and Vince Scott with a couple of big threes and has done a pretty good job of passing from the high post.
All 8 of his points have come here in the second half. 6-point lead, Illinois. Carter sets up McBride for 3 with Williams running at him late. Long rebound. Craig Moore's got it for Northwestern. The Wildcats a few moments ago were down by 13, and it's a 6-point situation now.
And now with the 3-point shots going down, let's see if Northwestern, because Illinois is going to have to close out a little bit more aggressively, if they can get something going to the rim.
Moore, kick out. Scott, open 3, ring it up. Oh my goodness. Vince Scott with 11. It's a 3-point ball game. Good ball movement here. Randall won't go, but he'll go to the line. Well, Northwestern is right in it as we reach a timeout. Despite the efforts of D. Brown from downtown, Illinois leads by just 3 with just under 8 minutes to go.
Summer nights,
Introducing mobile ESPN. Sports fans, your phone has arrived.
Some people look like they're dogs, but Tim Allen, he's about to become one.
Last night I turned into a dog.
Dad?
Then I turned back into being human.
Now he's got to go from family dog.
All my dad cares about is having a son who's a football player.
I've got to make this better.
To family hero.
Awesome.
Or he'll be living a dog's life forever.
Is there anyone who has not sniffed my...
Tim Allen. The Shaggy Dog, rated PG.
Item, gold locket with broken chain.
ABC presents
Item, cellular phone displaying last number dial.
a new television experience that starts by giving you all of the evidence, even before these guys ever get the case.
You're not our problem unless you make us your problem.
Orlando Jones, Rob Estes, The Evidence. Series premiere Wednesday, March 22nd at 10/9 Central, only on ABC.
Sloppy defense.
Who's got him? Who's got him?
Weak screens.
Step out!
Bad passes.
Hey! Give me the ball.
Now, Bobby Knight sees who can pass the ultimate test.
Good job.
16 students.
I want all of you to grow 4 inches.
One walk-on spot.
If your mother comes in here, you going to listen to your mother or to me? That's right.
Get ready for Night School. Premieres Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Northwestern, 4 of the 7 field goals for the Wildcats in the second half are from downtown. Craig Moore here, and then watch the big man pop out.
Vince Scott, all 11 of his points have come here in the second half. 3 of 3 from behind the arc, trying to pick up the scoring slack left by the absence of Adrian Vukusic, the leading scorer not only for this Northwestern team but in the conference.
Vukusic was the only Northwestern player to start every game so far this season until tonight, out with back spasms. But what an effort by this Northwestern team to be in the ball game just under 8 minutes to go on the road at Illinois. Meanwhile, at the free throw line, first free throw is missed by Brian Randall. Northwestern on a 12-2 run in a little bit more than 2 minutes. 2:06, the last 2:06 of the game so far.
It looked like Illinois was really in a position to maybe extend that lead and put Northwestern away, but the three-point shooting led by Vince Scott has allowed Northwestern to climb right back into it. Vince Scott 3 of 3 here in the second half. Hashad was 3 of 3 from behind the arc in the first half for Northwestern.
Well, you mentioned somebody else would have to step up, and that step up has been by Vince Scott. 2 free throws missed by Brian Randall, and now Northwestern goes to work.
Walk, yep.
Traveling on Jenkins, the senior. Scott and Brown have offset each other in this second half. Seven and a half remaining in the ball game. Illinois' lead is 3. Augustine. Jabbar Smith in the lineup now, the freshman for Illinois. He's a three-point shooter. One of the top three-point shooters in the conference, matter of fact. The shot shows on him defensively. McBride to Smith. Nice look to Randall. Beautifully done by the freshman. Illinois by 5. 7 minutes to go. Jenkins sets it up for Northwestern. Illinois aggressive in the half court defensively. Back in by Doyle. Seacat for 3. Rebound through the hands of Augustine. Loose on the floor. McBride hits the deck, and they tie each other up. No. Illinois gets a timeout call. Timeout called by Illinois in time by McBride before the tie-up. And McBride slow to get up.
Well, the scramble for the loose ball, and you have to give it up to both players as Seacat's not able to knock down the 3. But watch right here. Augustine's not able to corral it. And McBride's leg bends down kind of awkwardly, and a good job by the big fella Vince Scott for Northwestern to getting on the deck.
The last time the Illini played Assembly Hall, Ed DeChellis and the Penn State Indy Lions were in it. Illinois scored the first 13 points of the game. Rich McBride a three-point field goal there. But in the end, Watch this putback here with the game on the line. Travis Parker lays it in. Penn State's got the lead. Rich McBride, one shot to win it. Didn't get it off in time. Watch it again. And Illinois falls 1 point short as Penn State ends a 33-game home court winning streak by the Illini. 6:40 to go in this one. If there are some anxious feelings here, it is because, again, the last time Illinois played here at Assembly Hall, despite that record by Bruce Weber, they lost their last game at home, and they've been pressed by this undermanned Northwestern team here tonight. 5-point game. And a hold apparently on Doyle as Randall made a quick move. It's one of those fouls you just, not necessary.
No, he's not going anywhere. He's not in a position to score.
Doyle got a hand on him and a quick whistle. Nickel dimer, as Bill Raftery would say, but nonetheless a foul. Jamar Smith sets it up. Seacamp defending Smith. Northwestern packing that zone. In the corner, McBride. Brian Randall tried to go to Augustine, didn't have the spacing on that pass. D. Brown able to collect off the deflection. 10 to go on the shot clock to Illinois. McBride to Brown. Elevates for three. And the rebound, Augustine, bumped from behind by Vince Scott. Scott's second personal foul, 5 on the team.
And Wayne, with Vince Scott, as well as he's played here in the second half, this is the most consecutive minutes he's played in quite a long time. So conditioning is going to come into play. Augustine just able to beat him to a spot in that situation.
Make that 6 team fouls on Northwestern. Non-shooting affair. Augustine in close once again, and what do we get? A foul on Scott right away. Scott said, I'm just standing here. That's his third personal foul. Now that means a 1-on-1 opportunity coming up for Illinois. Home teams have been dominant in this Big Ten season thus far. Illinois trying to maintain its home court here.
The top 7 teams, to your point, Wayne, at this point in the Big Ten season, top 7 teams in the conference, 32-5 at home.
Another missed free throw, and this time on the front end of a 1-on-1 by Augustine. Randall a few moments ago missed 2 on a 2-shot foul. Under 6 minutes to go in the game. It's a 5-point lead, Illinois. Hashad sets up Doyle. Vince Scott jumped at this time by Randall.
Nice job by Jamar Smith of pushing Moore about 30 feet away from the rim.
Hashad slashing the runner. No, and the rebound, Augustine quick to the ball. D. Brown quick down court. And 1. Yes, it counts.
And if you're Craig Moore, the freshman in that situation, if you're going to give the foul, Wayne, make sure D. Brown cannot give his arm above his shoulder. Watch the transition off the Hashad miss. Now, Craig Moore's got a decision to make. Either try to draw the charge, or if he's going to give the foul, make sure that D. Brown cannot get his arm up above his shoulder for the finish.
He was between and betwixt in that situation.
Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug, and Craig Moore was definitely the bug.
Yes, indeed. D. Brown was exceeding the speed limit, I might say, even on the interstate. 16 for D. Brown. Illinois stretching now to an 8-point lead. Crunch time for Northwestern. Sterling Williams. Here's Doyle. Doyle on the drive, bumped on the play by Brian Randall. The foul on Randall is his second. 9 team fouls on Illinois. So 1-on-1 opportunity coming up.
And when we talked about Richard McBride paying the price in the offseason in terms of getting himself in better physical condition and dropping some weight, Tim Doyle did the same thing for Northwestern, probably dropped about 15 pounds. A year ago, he's not going to be able to turn the corner and get by somebody off the dribble and draw the contact.
And certainly not this late in the game. Doyle short on the first of a 1-on-1 opportunity. So free throws missed down the stretch by both sides. Under 5 minutes to go for the game. Good ball movement and patience by Illinois. Augustine. Jamar Smith pitches to D. Brown. 8 to go on the shot clock. Brown. Quick pull up on Jenkins. And a slam by Randall with authority.
Woo! Climb the ladder, big fella.
He came out of the sky to get that one. 10-point lead, Illinois. That may be not only a dagger, but an exclamation point. Even with over 4 minutes to go in the game. Moore, the freshman, rims out. 7-0 run by Illinois, and here they come again. Under 4 minutes to go. Carter disengages, and he's fouled. Got a mismatch that time with Michael Jenkins, but watch this cleanup here. Whoa! Impressively done.
Please rise for our couple Spurs fans as husband and wife.
My name is Izzy Paskowitz, and I've been running surf camps for autistic kids for 7 years. What's perfect for us is see that screaming and the kicking when they go out, and when they turn around and ride that wave in, it's just nothing like it. And there's the parents, tears in their eyes, saying, we've had a lot of tough times, but today was just a perfect day.
Say, Ray, you know ESPN Classic has a new comedy block, weeknights at 10?
What kind of shows
They got funny shows.
Good shows?
Great shows.
Who's on first?
Cheapsy.
Who?
Cheapsy.
The show.
Cheapsy.
On first.
Cheapsy.
What's on second?
Arliss.
What? Arliss.
That's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm telling you.
Let me see if I got this straight. ESPN Classic has a new block comedy, weeknights at 10.
Yes.
Who's on first? What's on second?
No, Cheap Seats is on first, Arliss is on
That's what I said. Who's on first? What's on second?
No, you're replacing the words Cheap Seats with who and Arliss with what. So?
Why?
I don't know.
Third base!
The Comedy Block, weeknights at 10, only on ESPN Classic.
Stop it.
Back in Champaign, Illinois leading by 10, just under 4 minutes to go here. Meanwhile, up in Madison, Wisconsin has taken a 3-point lead, a little over 2 minutes to go in that ball game. So Wisconsin leading by 3 over Ohio State. Wisconsin 7-4, Ohio State 7-3. Everybody trying to keep pace with the front-running Hawkeyes, who are 9-3 off an impressive win over Michigan State last night.
And when Wisconsin, as you look ahead at their schedule, they close out the season at Iowa. And Wisconsin's a team that everyone kind of forgot about for a while. They dropped 4 or 5, had that big loss at home to North Dakota State. But Bo Ryan has the team back in order. And if they're able to steal the win, which actually wouldn't be stealing a win at home against Ohio State,
right,
they put themselves right back in the mix.
Well, and again, when they lost Landry and Steemsma to Academics, they took a step back there for 3 or 4 games, and really it was certainly a speed bump for them. But it appears they have regrouped nicely. Carter puts in on a pair at the line, and the lead again is 12 for Illinois. Now under 4 minutes to go, and here comes a shot. Oh, the pick by Augustine. The athleticism of James Augustine.
That turnover is on two people. Not only the passer, but in that case, the recipient of the pass, Bernard Cote, has to step and meet the ball.
Offensive fouls. D. Brown picked it up.
Now watch right there. Not a good passing decision, but Bernard Cote has to step and meet the ball, because when he doesn't, that allows James Augustine to use his length, and he knows what to do with it once he gets in the open floor.
Meanwhile, Sterling Williams called for an offensive foul as he bowled over D. Brown. Illinois enjoying its largest lead of the game at 14, and they are on the verge of breaking this thing open with 3:28 to go. Look elsewhere. Penn State in the second half of that ball game, leading Indiana by 5 with 3 minutes straight up to go at State College. Tell you what, Penn State has improved to the point where if you don't bring at least a B+ game with you, you're not going to win at State College.
And with two young players, in sophomore Gary Claxton and freshman Mark Cornley, so what Ed DeChellis has a nice foundation going there in State College.
Scrum for the ball, and who's it going to be? Well, a couple of Wildcats all over it, along with Warren Carter. They doubled down successfully on the postman, and it's going to belong to the Wildcats on the alternating possession. Northwestern needs some scores here. So the Wildcats have it as they wiped up some moisture from the floor. And now we're set to go. Here comes Sterling Williams, the freshman. Picked up by Warren Carter. Cote. He's been quiet for the most part tonight. Craig Moore has been bottled up for the most part on the perimeter. D. Brown knocked it loose and could not save it.
And I tell you, someone that has been quiet for Northwestern in the second half has been Muhammad Ashad. He drew that third quick foul. He was the story offensively for Northwestern in the first half, and Illinois has clamped down on him substantially here in the second.
Ashad with 15 points, but 11 of those points, as Sean pointed out, came in the first half. Vince Scott has had the big second half from a scoring standpoint for Northwestern with 11 points. Craig Moore, 3. Halfway down, wouldn't stay. Randall to the basketball, and Illinois, chance to run some time here. Two and a half remaining. Illinois enjoying its biggest advantage in the turnover. Craig Moore to Muhammad Ashad. Sets up Moore in rhythm for 3. And again, that rim unkind to Craig Moore.
Not a bad look for Northwestern in transition, however. Ashad sensed that the defense was back in the name of D. Brown, kicked it back out. Moore had his feet set, just not able to drain it.
Under 2 minutes now to go for the game. McBride from way downtown. 17 for Rich McBride, and that should do it. 62-45 Illinois. Sterling Williams for Northwestern. Here's his shot. Fourth shot there is short, but a foul coming up on Illinois. Take a look at our plays of the game, brought to you by Country Insurance and Financial Services. Real people, real answers, real quick.
Speaking of real quick, Richard McBride got off the schneid real quick in the first half with his three-point shooting. Northwestern able to get a few back doors, but then a big run in the second half by D. Brown from behind the arc, and some offensive rebounding by Ryan Randall allowed Illinois to stretch the lead here in the second 20 minutes.
Muhammad Ashad makes good on the first. He has another upcoming. 92 seconds remaining in the game, and Ashad makes good on 2. He was fouled in the act of attempting a three-point shot, so he gets one more. Williams leaves. Wildcats make a change in their lineup. Patrick Houlihan comes in. Meanwhile, D. Brown, his second half, 5 of 10 from the field and 14 points in the second half for D. Brown. Third free throw is missed by Ashad. He made 2 out of 3. leading scorer for Northwestern with 17 points. And more changes upcoming from both sides. Take a look at Dee Brown, our player of the game, brought to you by Liberty Herbicide. And make the most of every acre.
And Dee Brown really took the game over in that 3-minute sequence, Wayne. He hit 7 consecutive points, 2 3-pointers, and a free throw, and took this game upon his shoulders. That's why he's our Liberty player of the game.
Coming up on a minute to go in the second half. Carter, is taken down hard by Justin Hovier. So Carter will get a couple of shots at the line.
His first foul.
Warren Carter has played well here tonight with 9 points, 6 of which have come in the second half. He's been a factor. Carter with 10, so Illinois will snap its 2-game losing streak. There's been one other 2-game losing streak under Coach Weber, and the Illini turned that one around. I believe they won 10 in a row, went on to a Big Ten championship.
You know you've got things going, Wayne, when you lose a couple of ball games in a row and people start wondering, pushing the panic button.
Yeah. Houlihan on the drive in traffic gets clobbered by Marcus Arnold, who just checked in. Under a minute to go at Wisconsin. It looks like the Badgers are going to protect home court. That would pin the 4th loss of the conference season on Ohio State. Minute and a half to go. Indiana trailing by 3, and that will increase the heat on the beleaguered IU head coach Mike Davis. Patrick Houlihan, a freshman from Rockville Center, New York, Phillips Academy in Massachusetts. Missed a couple at the line. And the rebound of Carter. 63-47 Illinois, but the game much closer than that final score is going to indicate. Northwestern hung in till the final 5 minutes or so in this game. Jamar Smith comes out of there with it. Here's Brock.
You have to give Illinois a lot of credit. They answered the bell when they needed to, put together a couple of big runs to put away this pesky Northwestern team. And conversely, for Northwestern, you have to give them a lot of credit, because coming in here, it was going to be a difficult task, even with Vedran Vukusic. With him not able to play at all, you almost felt like they were starting behind 10-0, and they hung around for a long period of time before Illinois was able to get things going, primarily Dee Brown.
Yeah, congratulations to the coaches. There's Vedran Vukusic. That took 20 points out of Northwestern's lineup here tonight in the Wild.